Good morning, everyone. I went to get my driver's license renewed at our local motor vehicle bureau, and it was packed. The line inched along for almost an hour until the man ahead of me finally got his license. He inspected his photo for a moment and commented to the clerk, "I was standing in line for so long, I ended up looking pretty grouchy in this picture." The clerk looked at his picture closely and reassured him, "It's okay, that's how you're going to look when the police pulls you over anyway." Okay, so today we have here in the hall at noon, we have line dance. We have sevens in the community room at 1 o'clock. And tonight, bingo resumes. Be here and ready to play by 6:15. You must have your ID badge to play. Tomorrow on Tuesday, September 11th, is the potluck, and that's at 5:30. On Thursday, the Bayside Ladies Luncheon will be at Sunset Grill at 11. And we will be having the end of summer bash from 2 to 4 on the pool veranda. Saturday is the country breakfast at 8 o'clock. And again, as the dance committee had mentioned, there's a dance with Dan Patrick. And the tickets are $5 for residents and $6 for non-residents. Since we see some people are coming back, and for new people, we just want to remind you all to please wear your name badges to all functions. It is required so we can verify you as a Tanglewood resident. A ladies' luncheon, September 27th, will be at Outback Steakhouse. You order off the menu and pay there. The sign-up is on the credenza. Next Monday, September 17th, Walmart will be here for a flu clinic from 7:30 to 10:30, and they will be in the craft room. Special Meals is working on getting their first meal of this season together. It will be on Tuesday, October 16th, and the cost will stay at $8 per person. They're still working on the menu to make sure that of what they're going to do, but it's going to be some German food kind of with the Oktoberfest theme in mind. So with that, I do believe that is all I have this morning. I hope that everyone has a wonderful, wonderful
Good morning.
Week.
Donna Scores with Diversions. A reminder for those of you that play the sevens card game, we have sevens this afternoon at 1 o'clock in the community room. If you're not sure of how to play, we have a tutorial that starts at 12:30. $2 will buy you in for a bag of chips, and it's an awful lot of fun. I'm going to put on my other hat right now, which is Broadway Lights Theater Company. As many of you are aware, Broadway Lights Theater Company is now ready to cast for the much anticipated reenactment of the old-time radio days. We will be using original scripts from Fibber McGee and Molly, the Bickersons, and Duffy's Tavern. These scripts are actually dated from the 1940s, and they are absolutely hilariously funny. The sounds that go into making the scripts authentic will be done by our very own Daryl Patrick. Our Tanglewood stage will bring you back to the radio days of the 1940s. This is a production that you do not want to miss. We are looking for character voices to read from the play scripts. There is no memorizing. It is our intent to make this production as original as possible, depicting the radio studio, sound effects, singing of the commercials, the radio announcer, and all the other things that go into making this production just really a lot of fun. If you are interested in wanting to lend your voice to this production of radio comedy, please join us in the clubhouse this Friday, September 14th at 1:30. You need not bring anything but just yourself. You are all welcome again this Friday at 1:30. Rehearsals are scheduled during the month of October, just to give you a heads up. Performances for this evening of great entertainment will be November 1st and November 2nd. Tickets will be pre-sold at Monday Coffee as we get a little bit closer. Tickets will be $5 each. We would love to see you, and if not on stage, certainly in the audience. Mark your calendar now for the return of Daryl Patrick's Jazz Ensemble. He, along with his band, will be entertaining us on October 13th. This is a Saturday evening and not the usual Friday evening jazz. Tickets are being pre-sold today at Coffee. You can check with Rhodey over there or Don, and they will be pre-sold every Monday at Coffee. Tickets are $5 each. Will also be sold at the door. Daryl's last performance, for those of you that were there, it was actually sold out. It was just incredible. And we anticipate that again, so get your tickets early. Come join us in the Tanglewood Cabernet Lounge where the lights are dim and the atmosphere is festive. Bring your own beverages of choice and snacks. And also, if you are so inclined, there is a little bit of dance room on the floor. So again, that is October 13th.
This seems to be theater morning. Diversions and Toad, Theater on a Dime, are presenting an original play on Friday, September 21st, and Saturday, September 22nd. There is no admission. We will have a 50-50 at each performance, and there is a raffle at each performance for a prize. Both days you get a $50 bill, and on Friday it's a beautiful original glasswork vase by Dieter Roten, and on Saturday there's a beautiful starfish that some of us are already fighting over. The play is called Dead Man Dating. So what happens when a widow and her friends are putting away her husband's things and her husband shows up? Come on and find out. Thank you.
Actually, the starfish is going on Friday and the bowl is going on Saturday. But otherwise, she got it. Okay. We love you anyway. Anyway, tomorrow is the second Tuesday of the month, which means it's the second Tuesday food drive, and you all know what that means. Put your sack of non-perishables out at the end of your driveway, and we'll pick it up we start at 9 o'clock. So have it out by 8:30. Thank you. The TWR Times summer contests have come to an end. I have money. I'm going to make 2 people very, very happy, and the rest of you are going to wish you had entered the contest because you're not going to be happy at all. So, the Jan DeRoller, are you here today? Jan is not here today. Oh, come on up. You're going to read your limerick. You usually sit over there. I didn't see you. We had a lot of submissions in the limerick contest this month, and our impartial judges picked this one. I am not one of the judges. Don't blame me. I'm going to make you read it.
That's not very nice. You know that, don't you?
You get the money.
It's entitled Beans. There once was a woman of means whose chef prepared Boston baked beans. She let out a hoot when she started to toot, bending down in her Levi jeans. Thank you. You didn't like that one, did you?
Thank you, Jan. Jan just walked off with $25, which would buy you a lot of nice raffle prizes over there. Okay, Mr. Bob? The second of the summer contests was the Hidden Icon Contest. We had 5 people who found all of the hidden icons and told me where they were. This is my sports editor, Bob. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Bob is going to choose one of these names for a $25. Who is it?
Nancy Foley. Nancy Foley.
Thank you. I think Nancy's out of town right now, but I'll spend this for her. I thank you very much. I thank you for supporting the TWR Times. Please follow it every month or every day. Heck, it changes every day.
Good
So-
morning, Tanglewood. Bob Larock with Cornhole Baseball. Okay, the Tanglewood Cornhole Baseball Summer League wrapped up last Wednesday with our Super Wednesday tournament. It was a fun evening ending a fun season. Congrats to the champs, the somebodies who won it all. And a shout out to the Sixers who went from last place, they won 1 game all year, and decided to come alive in the tournament and went all the way to the finals. So way to go, Sixers. I want to thank our sponsors, the Hometown America sales staff, Jay and Robin Etherton, and I think his name was Jerry, for providing and serving up ice cream sundaes after our first round of games. I'd also like to thank Robin Etherton and Steve Beatty, who helped out through the year with the sound system, so a certain commissioner could repeat himself weekly with his lame announcements. Above all, I want to thank the players for making this a fun league about friendship and community by pitching in to help with the court setup and tear down every week. Especially, he's already been announced, Tom Finocchio and his lovely wife, Joyce. The Cornhole Baseball Fall League, yes, we're going to do it again, is just around the corner. So we're going to take a couple weeks off and then return on Wednesday, September 26th, with our preseason exhibition night. That's the team sign-up night. Any new players interested, please come out and we'll get you on a team, or bring your own team. I got some sheets. Teams can play as teams, okay? All teams need to submit a new player roster sheet, and the season starts October 3. That's also a Wednesday. It's always Wednesday. Watch for more info and details here at Coffee, the Nextdoor Tanglewood app, and our community online newsletter, the twrtimes.com, where I just happened to do a weekly recap of the games we just had, including the tournament, if you want to check it out. Thanks again. Have a great week.
I'm sorry you have to listen to me again, but anyway, I'm here on behalf of the Outdoor Decorating Committee. As some of you may know, Gary Walker, who was the head of the Outdoor Decorating Committee, has left that position. He is very involved and active in his church, and he has decided that that's where he is needed. We will miss him greatly and his wild, crazy, tropical shirts. And we say a big thank you to him for everything that he's done. Thank you. He started the committee with the musical light display and the idea that Tanglewood needed to be decorated. The committee formed, the banners were designed and purchased, and it has grown from there with all the help of the committee members and the dedication and the donations from our generous residents and sponsors. All of our members work year-round to make this happen. Wait until you see what is in store for this year's Christmas season. Decorations will go up, and we will again have the Light Up Tanglewood party on November 24th in the Bash area behind the pool. Lots of functions will be taking place, and we will be doing more fundraising to continue to decorate Tanglewood in the future. We will be selling 50/50 tickets at the end of Summer Bash on the veranda this Thursday, so bring some extra cash with you, and you could go home with more cash than you bring. Thank you for your support and generosity, and I hope you are enjoying the new banners along with the original banners that were put up last week. Thank you, Hometown America, for helping us again with the task of putting them up. One of the new banners, which we handpicked, is a Choose Happy banner, which is a motto that we like to follow. Thank you again, and remember, Tanglewood runs on volunteers. Maybe you could think about getting involved in helping out on some of the many committees that make Tanglewood the place we all love and call home. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Pastor Burnham from Tanglewood Community Church. I want to just talk to you briefly about some hurricane preparation that we have made for the community and for each one of our neighbors. As you may recall, a while back we came and gave a presentation to you and said that as a new storm approaches that we have put together a team of volunteers. Everything here is volunteer. It's a combination of community members and church members. We have met with the county officials, gone through some laying out schematics, looking at our plans, talking about how to best handle the hurricane situation, about how to set up our shelter, how to house our neighbors and take care of things. With their advice and with their help, we've put together a great plan. We've consulted with the best in the county, and we've invited their input, evaluation of our plans, and structured with their help, our team, we believe we put together a great plan. Again, we are all volunteers, so the plan is not perfect. It's the best that we feel like we can do under their structure and under their guidelines. The emergency team and plan has been a cooperative effort that included both community members and church members, each one taking a lead role in specific areas that would involve the shelter. What this means to you is that it's a community effort of neighbors taking care of neighbors. And so it has little to do with really the church getting anything. It has to do with just us kind of putting a lead together and saying, what can we do to draw people together and get the most help and benefit we can out of this. And so the plan of action is in place. There's plenty of places where we need volunteers. Should we encounter a situation this year, we know that we've got 3 active hurricanes right now. Prayerfully, we won't be dealing with any of them here. But I would ask you to be mindful that last year, when we were the ones that had to deal with the hurricane, we were rendered a great deal of help from outside resources. And so we may be coming to you and saying to you that, listen, we would like to pay back that favor and help somebody who's been impacted by the hurricane. So you've gotten, in the past, there have been information sheets about things to be collecting and resources to be putting together for yourself to be prepared for the hurricane. Well, those are the same things that people who are impacted by the hurricane are going to need. And so if you'll be referencing back to that sheet, and I think, is there a copy of that somewhere?
I can get it out for him.
Okay, we'll get that back out and put back out so that you can have access to that. It's just an assembly sheet of things that you need to be gathering together to be prepared for a hurricane. Same thing that you're going to need, they're going to need, and so maybe along the way you could be picking up a few of those items. It is hurricane season, being prepared for yourself. If you don't need it and we don't need it, maybe we can put together something and send that to somebody who does need the help. Also, want to invite you to, if you desire to sign up to be on the volunteers, Pam has the sheets and the forms to help to make sure we get those slots filled, to make sure that when things do happen, that we have people in place and everything is handled rather smoothly. I just want to reiterate to you that Pam has done a great job. As many of you know, I had a bypass thing going on this summer and was out of circulation for a while. She's done a great job of handling things and being up front. A lot of folks have contacted her, inquired of her. She's done a wonderful job of answering concerns and questions on Nextdoor Tanglewood and in TWR Times. We're here to do the best we can, and I just want to reiterate to you, we have what we have here. We have this building, and that's it. And in that being said, we're going to do the best we can to take care of our friends and our neighbors, and we're going to do the best we can with what we have. We have done pre-sign-up, and at this point, with the schematics that we have and the advice of the best experts that we could gather together from the county, we are at capacity already in pre-sign-up for beds. That is to say, if you're going to have sign up for a place where you can have lodging and a bed. It doesn't mean that we're going to turn anybody away. It just means at this point we're nearing capacity for that. So if you sign up from this point forward, you understand that it's pretty much going to be standing room only. And so I would ask you to just be reasonable and to be thoughtful. This is not your only option. It's not our only option. Evacuation is an option, and there are other things to consider. If we end up having a situation, I know that we can trust each one of us to be reasonable and to be logical about what we need to do individually and personally. But this team of volunteers is put together to make sure that we are taking care of you to the best of our ability, and that is our intention. So we will do our level best to care for you, to provide for you, just as we did last year. And I think that overall, having the first hurricane in 12 years, and certainly my first experience with one, I think we did a pretty good job last year of handling things, coming together as a community and church folks, and everybody coming together as volunteers and helping each other. I think we fared out pretty well last year. This year, I hope that we'll be even better. Thank you. I'm going to turn things over to Pam because she's got some additional information for you about volunteers and some additional information about the hurricane. God bless you all, and be praying for those in the Carolinas, as this week they're looking like they're going to be faced with the situation we were last year. And with enough prayers, maybe we'll avoid having anything here this year. But again, be sensitive. If you could gather that list and be accumulating some of those items, we would certainly like to be a help to somebody who is in need, just as others were a help to us last year. So we will be asking for you to bring those things together so we can send them to somebody and render aid to them as we were last year. Thank you again.
Okay, I do have the list, and I'll put this in TWR Times as far as things to bring. Should we have to come here? I talked about the main concern that we have is the first night, coming here. That's the night before the big thing hit. I hope you guys enjoyed the little slideshow that we had up there. It was last year's just everything that kind of happened, and I had been taking pictures, and I put that together. It's kind of funny to look back now and see, what we did and all the food that we had piled up on the tables, and we took care of each other, and it was a good time in spite of all of that. Also on TWR Times, I've written a couple articles, and one of them is called Looking Back, and in it I have about 15 questions, and it's not a contest, it's just kind of for fun. Some of the questions that I put out are those of us that have been there. How many rocking chairs did we have in here? Just think about. We had a dance a week or so afterwards. We weren't sure whether to do that or not, but we did. And who was the entertainer? Think about that. And they did something very special that no other group has ever done. And you might try to figure out what that is. A few questions, just kind of some silly ones that I had on there. So just look at that and see what it is. And over the next few weeks when we do our Monday morning, then we'll have some answers coming out for what you remember about it. We did survive it, and I think we did a good job with that. Also, does anyone know why I made banana-less pudding? Just ask you that. The people that were volunteering, the main ones that Pastor Bill was talking about, Peggy Gransard is in charge of the kitchen. And so we will need, and we'll put these back out again in case we would need it, people that want to help out with kitchen. That's cooking, that's cleaning, that's preparing the meals, that's gathering the food. As things come in, there are about 15 people at least that we could use as volunteers for that. Pet boarding. As you know that we're not having the lottery this year. I have 50 animals going to be in that community room, and that's at capacity right now. I need help with people to help set that up. We had a mock drill. Some of you came to that, and really appreciate that. You get to see, what things we're going to look like, hopefully. The animals have to be in crates, and you have to bring their own food and water supplies. We have things set up for them. Cats are separate from the dogs, and etc. So I need a few people to help with that. If we know that, hey, it's coming, we have about 2 to 3 weeks notice. I'm from Indiana.
When we had a hurricane, when we had a tornado, we knew like 30 minutes ahead of time. Hit to the basement and you're done. 30 minutes later, it was over. When we were here last year, I was about to lose my mind because I knew for 3 to 4 weeks this hurricane was coming. And then being here 12 hours, that wind was blowing. It was quite phenomenal. So we do have notice, which is one good thing about that, to get things ready when we know it is going to happen. Anyway, that's the pet supply. We also have what we call incident command, and the stage up here is going to be where if anyone has a question of anything, then they can come up here. Someone will be here from the core group. Also, we have a medical team, and Steve is in charge of that, my husband. We have an urgent care area set up behind the stage, so if someone was really ill, rather than trying to have the ambulance come with their cots through this maze of where we were all staying, we would put them in the back, and there's a door out there in the back. We purchased 6 Motorola radios, and those were donated to us. So we have communication, so if something happens in the back, someone with the pets area will have a radio, someone in the kitchen will have a radio, someone out here so we can converse, hey, we need, somebody got sick or we need a mop or whatever, then we can communicate a little faster with that. So that's something else that we did. We also need volunteers if you have any medical experience at all, and we're going to need to know who you are. So if you want to volunteer, hey, I maybe can help with first aid, then that'll be another list that you can sign up for. I've purchased over $100 worth of Band-Aids and supplies. I did some of the bandages. I didn't think I'd need them last year. Was some of the surgical supplies, heavy bandages. Well, I didn't think about it, but a lot of you are on blood thinners, and if you get cut at all, you bleed like a stuck pig. Okay, so I have a lot of bandages there, and we have places that we're going to put all of the supplies. We'll have first aid kits all the way around here, so somebody has a little cut or something, you can do that. But also we'll have people marked as people helping out with first aid, kind of going around. So we're policing ourselves a little bit, a little more with that. Also, we have the registration check-in. Most of you, when you came to the drill, you went through the door and we just made sure we had your name already there. And the main reason for that is we need to have a count if something would happen, that we know who was here or who was supposed to be here. We also, just that first night, we assigned you a seat. And some of them kind of got confused on why did we do that. And it was mainly to know where you are. After the hurricane hits and everything was fine, then most of the people would go home, back to their houses and clean things up. And then we could spread out and you could have more room, to bring things. If you didn't have electricity at home, we served, and that's one of my questions, how many meals did we serve after the hurricane? How many days did we come back? A lot of you did, morning, noon, and night. You went back to your homes and cleaned things up, and then you came here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a cool place to sleep at night because there was no electricity for some of you for several weeks. There was one group that got electricity right away, and I won't mention what group that was, but we were pretty comfortable. And then the snowbirds. They were calling. They were concerned about, how's my house? How's my house? The ones that watched the homes did very good with calling them back up and saying, hey, this is going on. But something else they did that was very special, they opened up their home. If mine's okay, and we didn't even think about that. A few of my neighbors down the road, they said, hey, if my house is okay and I've got electricity, let somebody come in and stay that doesn't have electricity. So that was a very nice, thoughtful gift that they gave to us when they were up there and couldn't do anything, was open up their homes. So if you're watching homes now of snowbirds and something would happen, you might check with them and say, hey, if something does happen, do you want to open up your home? And maybe you have a friend specifically that you want to let, come in there if they can't have, if they don't have electricity or something. So that's something else that the snowbirds can do when they're still up north and we're down here. Let's see. Greg Plank, he did an amazing job with the schematics as far as figuring out how many lawn chairs we can get in here, and it was just the pool chairs to sit people in to get the most people possible. We won't have as much room per person if we need it, but we're trying to get as many people as we possibly could. So Greg, you did a great job with that, and we've referred back to that a lot. I think that's about it. I hope we don't need any of this. But I think, we're going to be prepared. We do need a lot of help. We need, everybody helps each other with that, and we all pull together I think we did a good job with that last year, and hopefully we're not going to need this again. But if we do, we're going to be, well prepared for that. So just thank you, everyone. Look in the TWR Times for the articles, and then we'll put the papers back out every now and then if you want to help out with something. If you're not sure, send me an email, say, hey, I want to help out in the kitchen, or I want to help out with the pets or whatever, as far as helping out with that, and we'll get your name down.
Everybody's trying to steal my cheat sheet. Last year, during the hurricane, my wife Lois's aunt, who was still up north, her house was empty in Carefree, and it had air conditioning, and we didn't. So of course we called first, but we moved in, and then we invited 2 other couples and their dog to stay with us. So there were 6 of us in a tutu, and we had a great time, played lots of games, and got on each other's nerves, but we had a great time. So, that suggestion that Pam had about opening your home is a great idea, and it's a great way to maybe learn not so much about somebody else. Okay. Special events. I'm the chair of special events, and we have season passes on sale right now. I'll be up here at the end table after coffee this morning to sell season passes. Next week, we hope to have the first show tickets on sale, which is the Beach Boys Tribute Band, which will be October the 21st, so at 7 p.m. Welcome table. Sue, do we have any new residents with us?
We do. Actually, we've got 2 new couples to introduce to you, so I'm going to turn over the microphone to them right away.
Hello. My name is Betty Fight, and I live in Cartersville, Georgia, when I'm not down here. Don't know much else, except we'd like to be down here full time, but we've got to wait a while till we take care of some issues.
Well, good morning. My name is Knox, K-N-O-X. And no, I'm not from Knoxville. I'm from Georgia. But we're glad to be here. And hopefully one of these days we'll be able to be here full time. But am I supposed to read that?
No. I was supposed to tell you that we live here at 1536 Tanglewood Circle.
Okay. All right. I'm Mike Crapo. I married Lourdes Rios, now Crapo, 6 weeks ago, and we're full-time.
That's right.
Do you want to say anything?
Ditto. Oh, we live in Dreamcatcher on Rain Dance, 4020 Rain Dance. I'm originally from Caracas, Venezuela. Some of you already know me as the Spanish teacher.
And I moved here from Idaho Falls, Idaho, to get away from the 30-degree below weather.
So thank you very much.
That's it from the welcome table.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, some fun or interesting facts. When I was researching this yesterday for today's presentation, I discovered, and I'm not going to go over each channel that was debuted or broadcast, but there were a whole lot of first broadcasts from TV stations around the country. And I thought that was kind of interesting on this date. And also, there were a lot of Olympic records broken at the 72 Munich Olympics. But in 1992, this is a really important fact here, Lucy in Peanuts Comics raised her psychiatric help from 5 cents to 47 cents. Now, I know some of you will appreciate this. In 1997, Mark McGwire joined Babe Ruth as the only players to hit 50 home runs in 2 consecutive years. And then, of course, last year, 2017, you remember our girlfriend Irma. She made landfall in the Keys of Florida as a Category 4 after causing catastrophic damage throughout the Caribbean. Irma resulted in 134 deaths and $64.76 billion in damage. So I think we fared pretty well here in Sebring. Don't forget, tonight is Sevens at 1 p.m. I'm sorry, this afternoon is Sevens at 1 p.m. Tuesday, if you have not signed up for it, is Potluck at 5:30. The sign-up sheet is on the credenza, so please sign up for the potluck. Wednesday, Bayside Ladies Luncheon. Thursday, end of the summer bash from 2 to 4. Saturday, the all-important country breakfast and the dance. Sunday, we ask you to attend your favorite church and go and watch those crazy people play water volleyball. But tomorrow, let's remember September 11th is Patriots Day. It's the 17th observance and remembrance of the tragic events that took place on September 11th, 2001. Other than that, see you next Monday, and be sure to wave and have a blessed day. Thank you.